Good day, everybody, and welcome. This is Miss Valley Entertainment News, and welcome to a video that we're going to call, how are we going to call this video, people? Life as We Know It, post-Game Awards 2024, or the things they don't want you to talk about or hear post-Game Awards 2024. Now, first of all, did anybody watch the Game Awards, and does anybody care? I did not personally watch it. Couldn't tell you who won any awards. The only thing I know that made me not care about anything beyond that is Black Myth Wukong did not win Game of the Year. And that being so, I am quite confident in saying the entire Game Awards are a scam. They're fake. Don't give a shit. They don't care about what people want, just like most of the gaming companies nowadays. Do I think the game should have won Game of the Year? Absolutely, 100 million% yes. And I'm a person who has not even played Black Myth Wukong, nor do I intend to. It's not a game in my wheelhouse. But I know a great game when one comes out. I know a Game of the Year when one comes out. That was it. It didn't win. There's reasons. Let's get into some of the things they don't want you to hear, they don't want me to talk about post-Game Awards, okay? Here we get a video by Hypnotic, and I'm gonna link all these down below so you check them out for yourself. We're not gonna go through all of these because that would take forever, but let's hit the highlights, okay? Witcher 4 officially breaks the lore. Ciri gets introduced as a real Witcher, and gamers erupt. This is absolutely true. I looked at another video and watched it on this, and then it was by Spell&Shield. I can't remember what the video was titled. I watched it, though, right after the Game Awards, talking about the fact that they completely broke the Witcher lore. And in spite of the fact that there are a lot of fanboys out there, and you're allowed to be a fanboy of CD Projekt Red, you're allowed to be a fanboy of The Witcher. I get it. I love The Witcher 3. I thought it was a great game. You're allowed to. I'm not saying you can't, so don't go there. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm not ragging on people who really are excited for this game. But I'm telling you, after watching that video, people out there, they're going to be hyping this game, and they're going to be so excited for it. But you're not seeing the other side of the coin. Turn the coin over, because there are a ton, and I mean a butt ton of people, freaking irate over the fact they completely trampled all of the lore for this Witcher 4 reveal trailer. Completely trampled it. If you don't know, women can't be and never have managed to be a Witcher. Ever. They tried it before. It didn't work. They all died. Second of all, Ciri's story was basically over in Witcher 3. Just like Geralt's was. Very, very disappointing that they brought her back as the main character, actually. I know a lot of people wanted that. A lot of people also didn't want that. A lot of us wanted to create our own Witcher and have a choice in our character and play it that way, more like you do in Cyberpunk, for instance. But that's not what happened. What else broke the lore? Excuse me. Grab a little coffee to wet my whistle as it is. There was a bunch of other things brought up, like the trial of the grasses that the men have to go through to become Witchers. They train from a young age, as a young boy, until in their teens or late teens or whatever it is. They take the trial of the grasses. Most of them don't survive it. It's only a rare handful that do survive and go on to become Witchers. So where does Ciri get this ability that no other woman's had? Because she's a woman, she's a superwoman. She can do anything because she's female. It's going with the female empowerment over the top is what this game is doing. Clearly she is a Witcher because she's taking Witcher potions, which would kill anybody who's not a Witcher. Now you're going to say, well, Witcher's got all these powers, or Ciri, has all these powers and abilities by the end of Witcher 3. Oh, by the way, did you know that there's 3 different endings you can get to Witcher 3? And CD Projekt Red has now made only one of those canon. The other 2 don't matter. So if you got either of those 2 other alternate endings in your gameplay, they don't count. It's like you never played the game. Fuck you. Um, but she has all these other powers. Yes, she can go to other universes and change time and do those kinds of things. But it looks like she no longer has those powers. So we suspect they maybe are going to say that those powers burnt out of her, keeping her alive through the trials. By the way, no adult has ever gone through the trials either to become a Witcher. Yet here is Witchy. Here's Ciri, a full-on adult. Again, super-powered woman. You also might have noticed, and I know, again, Witcher 3 does a lot of this as it is, but the main story, if you want to take the couple minutes of the reveal trailer and look at it, the main story there is what? Men are bad. Men are bad. Men are evil. And even in our own world, there are plenty of evil men out there. There's also plenty of evil women, though. Anyways. Yes, I realize that time and time again, we got that same message in Witcher 3, but that is being pushed to Witcher 4 is not hard to imagine because there is an activist in charge of this game. And I did a video on this 4 months ago telling you that The Witcher 4 is going woke and you ain't going to like it. And they're going to be shoving this shit down your throats in this game. Guarantee it. And that's the other thing. This is a reveal trailer that revealed nothing other than the fact that you are playing as Ciri in the game. There's no gameplay here. There's absolutely no gameplay. You have no idea from this trailer what The Witcher 4 is going to look like, how it's going to play, what's going to be inserted in there that you don't want to see. And trust me, there will be a lot of it. None of that stuff is shown. You just get a little fantasy story dead on their computer about Ciri. That's it. So not something I'm excited about. I will wait till this game comes out, and I will probably sit down and eat popcorn and watch a lot of videos on it and say, yep, just as I predicted. I'm warning you right now. Go ahead and be a fan of the Witcher franchise, but be aware. The lore has been trampled and erased. They've changed everything, and there is a full-on activist put in charge of this game. If you expect anything, then the worst of things installed into this game and beating you over the head time and time again as they preach to you about what they want you to believe, good luck. And yes, on the Spell&Shield video I looked at, I went through the comments, and 99% of them were absolutely outraged at what they had done to the lore in that small reveal trailer video. Absolutely outraged. And people were saying, no, we are not playing this game. They're ruining it. So do not believe the hype that you're going to see that everyone is excited for this game. There are people who wanted to be excited for this game, who love the Witcher series, who are not taking this shit. Moving on. Dr. Disaster's got a video here. Exclusive Witcher 4 community managers are activists. What? I didn't know. Oh, if only someone had told me 4 effing months ago in a video. Some fans banned for asking questions. I bet you I'm not the only. I know I'm not the only person who hit on this 4 months ago either. So I'm not blaming Dr. Disaster or anyone else. I'm just saying, I told you so, and now people are picking up on it again. This is the way we're going. Your battle for saving the gaming industry, people, it's not over by a freaking long shot. No. For the next several years, you're going to have these big games come out that are doing this. They're inserting crap, they're inserting politics, they're inserting identity politics into us. They're telling you what you have to think and how you have to be and what you have to accept and what you have to believe, and they're telling you you're wrong if you don't. And if you ask questions about it, you get banned. Over here, Black Girl Gamers strikes YouTubers Hypnotic and Valiant Renegade after Alyssa Mercante sues Smash JT. Did you hear about this? I didn't do a video on this, but I've been following this. Once again, Smash JT, Jeff over there at Smash JT, has had a lawsuit launched against him by Alyssa Mercante, who basically, what it breaks down to is she has hired some activist lawyers who have previously gone after the gaming industry in the attempt to get radical judges to change laws in order to change the gaming industry and change the way people can react to it online. Basically trying to cancel your opinion if it's not the opinion of what they want. So Alyssa Marcotte has basically sued Jeff from Smash JT, and if you look at her lawsuit and what he says about it, she wants all of the money he's made off of YouTube to go to her. Larian Studios did a great video where they pointed out it looks like Alyssa Marcotte, tongue-in-cheek, is in love with Jeff and she just can't let him go. Anyways, so now Black Girls Gamers has struck the YouTube channels Hypnotic and Valiant Renegade. This is a coordinated attack, people, and they're trying to shut up our voices. Now, Intergalactic says Intergalactic. You probably heard of that if you follow the Game Awards at all. The voice actress does an insane rant on LGBTQ. It exposes how awful Naughty Dog game will be. Yes, because the game's announced at Game Awards 2024. New stuff coming out, like Intergalactic from Naughty Dog, woke as hell and going to annoy the shit out of average, everyday people who just want to play good games. As it says here in the Fandom Pulse article, Intergalactic, the heretic prophet voice actress, wants vile LGBTQ plus agenda normalized and embraced. Get out your popcorn, people. Get out your popcorn, because this ain't over. And when you're done with your popcorn, load your weapons, and I mean that in a metaphorical sense, and go to war, because the culture war has not ended. They're firing back with all cannons, and if you ain't ready, you're going down with the ship. Asmongold clips. Let's take a look at what Asmongold's got to say in this 2.5 minute clip here. It says, oh boy, here we go again.
I made a tweet today. I figured that, it's time to make an investment. I said, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the market for masculine, non-conventionally attractive female leads in games isn't as big as the video game industry thinks it is. And I was thinking about this character, obviously. I think this is like Intergalactic or something like that. This game...
I mean, you could make a bald female character that's fine, but it's not going to be aesthetically pleasing, is it? I mean, are you making this for the bald females out there? I don't get it.
Probably started development over 5 years ago. And maybe back then a character like this might have seemed like it was a better idea. The graphics for this are really, really good. If you don't like the character or whatever, there are a lot of paintings that I'm not a fan of, but I can admire that it looks really good. I think that if you are looking at a space bounty hunter that has 80s retro aesthetic that are about bounty hunting and shooting people and fighting with laser swords, you are looking at a super majority male audience. You're going to have a sausage fest. That's just the way it is. If you try to make a character that doesn't appeal to the main audience of the genre that you're designing a game in, you're going to have that game not do well. You can talk about oh, people are misogynists, they're racist, they're bigots, they're stupid gamers, you shouldn't listen to them. But at the end of the day, you're not going to bully those people into buying the game.
So even the figure here has kind of broad shoulders, right? Very, very small chest, and I'm going to guess pretty slender hips. Again, this is not done by accident, people, that they make a woman look more like a man. It's not done by accident. They're trying to erase the sexes. There is a push to do this, and gaming studios like this are hiring people and putting them in charge of their games and having them make their games that are leading this push in society to make an androgynous society. They're trying to get rid of men and women and just you be whatever you want to be, because there's 1,000,003 different sexes. Don't you know? All right, you're stupid if you don't believe so. Society, people, is really apt right now. Society is really apt. But I do want to point out to you, if you live in North America, you probably think all society is apt. I want to point out to you, no, it's just North America that's apt. The rest of the world's pretty friggin' normal still, and probably will remain that way forever. It's just the society in North America that's going to get so apt that eventually I don't know, anybody can just walk in and take over our countries because we'll be too busy, I don't know, trying to fight social battles. And I don't even know. I don't even know. But it's just effed up right now over here.
The game. It didn't work with Concord. It didn't work with Veilguard. It just doesn't work. I mean, Naughty Dog released the trailer with the comments turned off. You don't release a trailer with comments turned off if you think you're going to get a lot of good comments.
That's a good point. They know, and they don't want to hear from you. They don't want to hear your opinion if it's different from theirs. No. Like how mature is that? How mature is that of a gaming studio to say, we're going to put out something we know is controversial, but we're going to ignore that it's controversial and say that it's not, but we're not going to listen to any of your comments because we're not even going to read them. We're not even going to allow them to be there and anyone else to read them. That way we can say the trailer was a rousing success.
I feel like Will Smith will slap me for making fun of her. This game is going to make a Concordillion dollars. Somehow Concord returned. And so a lot of people were mad about like my chat that was like shitting on this game. I find that to be very, very funny. This is not my chat. They shut down the comments before they even opened up the video. The PlayStation trailer, everybody is hating on this fucking game. When I don't ban people for their opinions, it's not my chat. It's that everybody else's chat is censored. A Game Award chat was spamming the same things during Intergalactic, just like your chat during the live show too? Exactly. Do you think Jeff Keighley is doing that? When the only places that don't have this are the ones that are censored, that isn't anything to be proud of. Wow, we banned everybody who disagrees with us. Now they don't exist. They're gone. I was kind of surprised that they saved this trailer for the end, considering just how badly received it is. I mean, they had to turn the comments off. If you look at the dislike extension, both of these games are getting mass dislikes.
Wow.
It's very obvious that this game did not have a good reception with audiences, right?
Okay, let's come. I want to get through this, and I don't want this video to be too long. So let's get through this, because this is the important part. Sven Vinke of Larian Studios, the head of Larian Studios, gave this speech at the 2024 Game Awards, and I feel like nobody really paid attention to it. And this is to me, the only important thing that happened in these Game Awards was the speech that Sven gave to all of the other video game companies watching and listening. It's a warning, and it's a plan to success that most companies have completely ignored and veered off of. Please listen to this very closely. Let's go.
Sven Vinke. I realize you guys have been sitting here for over 3 hours, but I still have some time credits from last year for questions. So it turns out that not only will I be the one who will know as first which game wins tonight, but I actually also know which game is going to win next year, the year after, and the year after. Now, how do I know this? Well, an oracle told me. She said, change is coming. It's a modern oracle, so they made me sign an NDA, but I trust all of you. I know you can keep a secret, you will never leak it. The Oracle told me that the Game of the Year 2025 was going to be made by a studio who found the formula to make it up here on stage. It's stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps on getting lost.
The way to become Game of the Year is stupidly simple, he's saying to all those people. It's stupidly simple, but yet somehow the formula has been lost. Who's it been lost to? The gaming industry. By the way, notice he's not saying the Game of the Year 2024 will be, because he's about to announce that after his speech, who the Game of the Year 2024 is. He's saying the Game of the Year 2025 and beyond. Why? Because he's already said change is coming. He is warning the gaming studios. Gamers are fed up, and change will come to this industry. Like it or not, you will have to change. You've been changing in the wrong direction. Going forward, it's going to be companies that make the change in the right direction who win the awards and listen as he lays out what kind of change that will look like.
Studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before. They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to service a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. And furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design.
Well, I got to tell you, that right there does not fit almost any AAA company existing today. If AAA companies are in the audience or are listening to this and they're not listening to what Swen's saying, then they're probably plugging their fingers into their ears like Naughty Dog Studios is and saying, no comments, I can't hear you. A lot of studios are going to continue to go their own direction. And you think gamers have risen up recently? Watch as this trend continues and sales continue to plummet. He goes on.
They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't treat their players as users to exploit.
They didn't exploit their users, their players. They didn't get rid of their good developers to hire ones who were cheaper.
And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted and function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow.
You don't go ahead and work on things that'll get you a bonus, or that you don't work on things to throw them in the game because of politics. Treat your staff and your people with respect, and your gamers as well.
They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun. They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned.
Absolutely.
But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple, said the Oracle. Winning Game of the Year turned out to be a life-changing event for us. It was an amazing thing. To those who will win Game of the Year 2024, you have no idea what's waiting for you. It's an incredible honor, and you're in for a heck of a ride. Now remember, should you be told to wrap it up for tonight, you can always come back next year and chat for 3 minutes, okay? So, now, to pay tribute to the nominees.
I think this is honestly a warning shot to the people in the industry from somebody within the industry who understands what's happening, sees the warning signs, and says, this is what you have to do as studios if you are going to succeed going forward in the next year and beyond. Because you're driving the customers away and you're going the wrong direction. You're killing your own industry. Stop it. Go the other way, and maybe you too can win Game of the Year going forward. Maybe you too can have fans that respect you because you respect them. Maybe you can have great people in your studio because you retained them, you paid them well, and you had a fun atmosphere. Maybe you can keep to your principles and make a game you actually want to play. And when people tell you to insert things into it that you don't want part of the game, you say, no, we're not putting that in there. We're staying on task. We're making a great game that we want to play and that the fans also want to play. You actually listen to the fans. Take in what they say to you and consider, should we make changes the fans want? How important is this? Will it ruin our game? This is a good idea. Do we want the fans to feel involved? That'd be like Ubisoft, who says we don't know where our fans are. We have no idea how to contact our fans or what they want. This was the most important part of the Game Awards and the only part I watched. The gaming industry in 2025 needs to be better. But because most of these companies are developing games that have been in the works for years, it's too late for most of 2025. But hopefully, the AA and the single A companies are listening to this and they're realizing we can't follow what AAA's been doing recently. But we can follow what Larian Studios did and the path they laid out. It's sticking to our principles and making a good, great game we want to play, in forging ahead and creating new ideas, in listening to our fans and taking honest feedback and being respectful to them, in treating the people in our company well, and having good open communication, in not inserting DEI things, and not inserting into our company, into our games, not inserting messages into our games that don't need to be there as part of the game, not as talking down to our consumers, not as putting political leanings into our games and into our what we say on the internet to people about our games. Stuff that is not that hard because this is how gaming used to be. At the top, corporate greed and activism has taken over so much. These companies don't start getting that stuff out of their companies, all of the big companies will fail in gaming going forward. Let's hope by the end of next year, we see some great single and double A companies rise up with some great games, because I still don't think we're going to get any for AAA next year, but maybe the year after that, or the year after that. Let me know down below what you think. As always, all of these videos will be linked down below. For Miss Valley Entertainment News, hoping for a brighter future, but knowing there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the meantime to get there. Stay strong, gamers. Your wallet's closed and your mind open. For Miss Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread. Trent and I wish you well. Hope your December and your holidays are going well, and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all, although I'm sure I'll see you before that. Take care. Bye-bye.